Okay, so this is going to be an instructional / overview video of the Hymer BMCI 600 white line. First of all, we're going to go around the external of the vehicle, and then we will go into the habitation and cab area. As you can see, this vehicle does come with an awning. You'll get a separate link on the email how to set up and use the awning. First thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet. Two reasons: one, so you know how to open the bonnet, but then two, I'll show you where the terminal points are in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. So if you come to the passenger door, and if you open the passenger door, you will be greeted with an electric automatic step. Underneath the dash, just there, that handle, if you pull that down once, that will then release the bonnet. So now that I've released the bonnet with a bonnet catch in the cab, all you need to do is lift it up. It is on gas struts. So as you can see, we now have here in behind this red tab, all you need to do is push it in and twist, and that will give you the connection point for your positive terminal point. And then your negative is just going to be all the way at the back. That brass nipple there, that is going to be your negative terminal point. Obviously under here we have got your screen wash fill just there, and then this vehicle does run off AdBlue. So under the bonnet we have got your AdBlue fill just there. And to close the bonnet, all you need to do, push it down, and then you just need two hands for the next stage, one on each side, push it in and it will click back into place. So now we are going to carry on around the external of the motorhome, and we will start on the passenger side. So like I said, if you open the passenger door, the electric step will automatically come out like so. At the side of the passenger door we have your diesel fill, so you just need to use your vehicle blade key on that. And then the next compartment we come to is going to be your gas locker. So you can lift that up again on gas struts. So in here we can fit two tanks in here. Probably two 6 kilogram tanks. I don't know if you will get 11s in here, but we've got at the top, we have got your gas regulator. So you connect on each side on the gas regulator. So if you connect it, because you've got a changeover valve here, so if we're connected to the right hand side tank, we need to connect on here with the orange hose to the tank. One thing to keep in mind on these hoses, they have got a little safety valve at the end, so when you turn the gas on, you just need to push this button in, and that purges the gas through the valve. If you've got both tanks connected and the right hand side tank has run out, all you need to do is twist it to the left hand side, turn on the gas tank, and then obviously that will carry on feeding gas. As you can see, we have got this grey hose in here, and what that is, it's an extension piece for your grey waste. So I'll show you where your grey waste is. It's just behind the rear axle underneath the passenger side. So just there, the grey waste will release from there. So if you've not got a grid directly below it, you can put that grey waste extension piece on and reach to a grid. So that is stored in the gas locker. Next we have your boiler flue. So you just need to keep this clear at all times, as it does get quite hot. This is where your gas exhaust, the fumes exhaust from. And then directly below that we do have a belly locker, and then you have got just a little holder on the right hand side, just a little clip that holds the belly locker door open. So as you can see, you've got storage under here, but then the reason you need to come inside here is we have got a few valves in here. So we have got the black one, which is your frost protect valve. Basically that is connected to your boiler. So currently this valve is shut, and how I know that is because the blue button just down here is actually pushed in, and then the diamond valve on top is sideways. There is a sticker on the side to indicate how it should look. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the sun out of the way. There we go, we can see a bit better. So that valve is currently shut. Frost protect valve, when it hits 3 degrees or less, it will automatically open. There's a magnet inside, so it will trigger. But this is how you drain your boiler. So if you're storing this for winter or not using it, to drain it, open it up, the button comes out, and as you can see directly below, the water is draining out of the boiler. To shut this, I need to twist the valve on top, push the blue button in. That stops the water draining from your boiler. At the back side there, you can see 2 blue valves. They're for your pipe work in the motorhome, so you need to shut them as well if you're wanting to fill up with water, or if you're draining, open the valves as well. There you are, just twist valves. And here is where your water filter is. Here we have got ventilation top and bottom for your fridge and freezer. So that's just circulating some air in there, especially obviously if the fridge is running off gas. If we want to fill up the motorhome with water, this is where you would do so. Take the blue cap off, hose pipe in when the water starts to come back out, or fill up on the overflow of the tank underneath. That means your fresh water tank is full. To shut your fresh water tank so the water's not draining directly straight out when you're trying to fill it, there's a black valve which is internal, which we will get to. And the last part on the passenger side is going to be your garage. So you've got a large garage door. It's on a gas strut at the top. As you can see, we've got lots of storage in here. Got some shelving storage. We have got lights in here on each side. You just want to make sure you turn these off, because if your 12-volt system is on, these lights will stay on until you physically turn them off here. So you want to turn these off every time. Otherwise, like I say, if your 12-volt system's on, you could be inside the motorhome and you are running your lights in the garage, which you don't need. You got a rail along this side here. You got it at the bottom, you got it at the top. So these are good for tie down points. So on the other side, which we'll get to, there's some metal hooks there. You can just move them around on the rail and then obviously use them for tie down points. It could be for a motorbike, or it could be for push bikes. So that is your garage on the passenger side. So now we are going on the driver's side of the habitation. So again, the first compartment we'll come to is going to be your garage. And as you can see, there's no lights on, but if I turn it off here, on or off, like so, that is the rail, or on both sides. Your clips, if you want to move these around, just need to undo them, slide them along, or if you undo them a bit more, they will eventually come out of the channel. Like so. So yeah, they just fit in the channel, so you can put them anywhere on the channels. And then here, as you can see, we have got your external shower point. So this will only work obviously if your 12-volt system's on, because it's run off your pump. So you got your hot and cold tap here, and then there is a trigger on top of the shower as well. You've got two 40-volt sockets at the top there, so obviously they will only work on mains hookup. But if you've got anything you need to charge up in the garage, could be electric bikes, you can do so. The next compartment we come to, we've got your external barbecue point. So you just need a quick release connection on that. Here we've got your electric hookups. This is where you plug in at campsite for your 240 volt side to charge up obviously the leisure batteries. This vehicle does have an inverter in, which we will get to. Behind this locker we have got your toilet cassette. So as you can see, we've got a breathing tube here. If we want to take out the cassette, what we need to do is lift up this green tab at the bottom, pull it out, and then we just need to take this breathing tube off. I'll do this off camera because you need two hands, but you pull this breathing tube off and then you can take out your cassette to empty or clean. So as you can see, I have now got the cassette out. So if I want to empty or clean this cassette, this grey nozzle on the left, I just need to twist this out to the left. If I take this green cap off, and then if I tilt the cassette up to empty, if I put my thumb on the button at the top, hold the button down, that lets air into the top of the cassette, so all the fluids flow out a lot faster and easier. Other than that, you can actually open the cassette blade, so you can clean internally if needed with a hose pipe. Once finished cleaning, all you need to do is align it back up, slide it back in, and you just need to connect the air rated hose onto the top like so, and then slide the cassette back into place. And what you need to make sure of is this green tab is locked down secure, so then your cassette is not going to move in and out when you are in transit. As you can see, we've got an electric step which is controlled in the habitation. So now we will go into the habitation area. To open these doors, to make it easy for yourself, if you put your thumb at the top and pull at the bottom, twist your hand, it gives you a better leverage to open the door easier. So as you can see, I am now in the habitation area. To the right down here, you got some light switches, you got your electric step button, and then a 240 volt socket. All the windows have blackout blinds, and obviously the open windows do have fly screens as well. Directly above the habitation door, you've got a touch screen, and this is your control panel for the habitation area. So all you need to do is touch it, let it load, and it'll come on like so. I'm going to try and show you this the best as possible without it flickering all the lights. So as you can see, 12 volt on the left. It is lit up in a light orange. That means the 12 volt system is on. I know it's on because I've got all the lights turned on currently. If I want to turn it off, all I need to do is touch it and it will turn itself off. So that's the 12 volt system off. Obviously all the lights have gone off as well. Touch it and then all the 12 volt system and lights will come back on. Next one, you've got a plug socket in the middle. So the plug socket will light up when you are plugged into mains hookup. If that doesn't light up when you're plugged into mains hookup, there's potentially a fault or something has tripped. Most of the time it is the campsite post that has tripped because they reduce the power they give you. So always check the campsite post before you go rooting around in the motorhome, and we'll get to where your breakers are and your 12 volt fuses are soon. The next one on the right is a pump, so that's your water pump. So if you want to have water coming through your tap, you need to turn the pump on, but obviously before you do that you do need to put water into your fresh water tank, because if you turn this on and the pump is running on its own without any water, you could potentially burn out the motor, and then obviously you need to replace the motor. Up here it does state what it actually is though, but it says vehicle battery, so that's giving you a level vehicle battery. Main battery, which is your leisure battery. Bottom left is your fresh water, bottom right is your grey waste. So that will give you a percentage of obviously how much is in there. Next one, you got commercial. So top one is your 12 volt lights. So you can turn the temperature up and down here, so that does it all. Your brightness, sorry, on the left, your light temperature on the right, so you can go from cool to from warm to cool. So the lighting does the front end of the motorhome. There's a next one is your fridge, so you can turn your fridge on and off from here, or you can turn your fridge on and off from the fridge itself. Depends how technical you want to be. We do recommend that you use the appliance instead of keep using the touchscreen. We just find it a lot easier to use, but I'll show you both as well. But like I say, you can turn it on and off from here and set your settings and your energy source. This is a freeway fridge, so you can use it on gas, 12 volt, 230 or auto. 12 volt is on your battery when the engine's running. Auto will automatically select that source it has available. Bottom one, this vehicle does have a SAT antenna. So this has got a dish on top. So if I want to set up the dish, I can turn it on from here. But again, there is another control you can turn it on from as well, which we will get to. Personal, so that's lights again. 12 volt lights. So on the personal one, that does the rear of the motorhome. Same again, you can dim the brightness altogether. Same with the temperature on the right. You can actually dim the brightness as well on the light switches. All you need to do is push right at the bottom, push and hold in, and then they will dim, and then push and hold the opposite way, and then obviously they'll go brighter. If you want to turn them off, just press it once and it will turn them off. Installation. So top one, you've got your heater. Again, you can turn your heater on from here. All you need to do on your heating and boiler is just make sure that you select your right source first, because if you've put it on gas and your gas is not turned on, you will get an error. Next one is your 12 volt switch, which is doing what the home page is doing. You got boiler, but you can turn the boiler on the heating side, warm water at the bottom there. Some of these are doubling up on the self. The bottom one, water pump, but again, you can turn that on the home page as well. Vehicle details, so you've got, again, it's giving you water, fresh water and grey waste percentage, but it tells you on home screen. Power, it's giving you state of charge, I'm connected to shore or not. It's giving you your solar voltage and solar current. Chassis info, it's showing you the mileage, what fuel's left, what AdBlue's left, water, windscreen wash, central locking, that's through the app. And you can buy some wireless sensors as well, so you can get more details as well. So it is quite complex, you can do a lot with it, but like I say, we recommend to use the physical product, so i.e. the Truma control panel for your heating and boiler, for your hot water as well, but obviously you can use this as well. Here we've got obviously this is connected to your gas regulator. So if you're going somewhere really cold, you can turn this on, and in winter it will heat up the regulator if you're going really cold. You got top for winter, off in the middle, and then you've got summer at the bottom. So you've got a red light there, so that means I've actually no gas connected, which is just an indicator there. On the right here, we've got your Truma control panel. On your Truma control panel, we will send a separate link on this control panel as well, how to set up and use this. But like I said, you can use it through the touchscreen, or you can use it through the Truma control panel. Here we have a TV. If you want to release the TV, you just need to push this button in. That releases the mechanism, and it will swing out, and then you swivel it. So in the cab area, obviously, as you can see, we've got driver and passenger seat swiveled. Above that, we have got a large drop-down bed. If I want to set the drop-down bed up, what we need to do is the backrest, we need to fold these downwards. Then when we drop down the drop-down bed, This swings all the way down and lands onto here, and then obviously the seats are not in the way, which I'll show you now. So as you can see, I've now got the bed in the front dropped down. Like I said, you just need to fold these seats down just so the bed can come all the way down and sit down correctly. Obviously it's got a screen inside there. You've got reading lights at the top, and they have a USB point as well, and some more light switches up there. You've got a skylight here. Again, we'll have a fly screen and blackout blind. You have got a rail up here because underneath the mattress you have got a safety net, so that just connects onto there if you need it, or if obviously the kids are up there as well. To put this bed away, all you need to do is manual, pull it up, it's on gas struts, push it all the way to the top, and then just make sure you've got this safety clip securely in, so then when you are travelling it's not going to bounce up and down. Now I'm going to set up the seats back into the driving position. I'm going to show you some of the cab area. So now we're going to go over the cab area. So on the seats on this vehicle has been spec'd with heated seats. So you've got some controls down here, and also you've got some levers here which do you like your lumbar support as well. Your armrest move up and down, but if you want to adjust it, there's a button underneath. All you need to do is hold it and it will move up where it needs to stay, or lower down like so. In the front area here we have got charging points, so this is a wireless charging pad. You've got two Type-C USB points, so you can plug into there, and there is a 12-volt socket as well. At the front we have got your screen for the blind, so you just pull that all the way up to the top, and obviously that gives you privacy. And then on the sides we've got blinds which are tucked away here, which go across and then meet at the end. So here we've got all your media, so you can turn this on here. You've got your sat nav on here, you've got your climate control here. To start the vehicle, most of the time your keys need to be in this one here. It has got a sensor in it what detects the wireless key. You've got your stop start here. Below that we've got some other controls. So you've got a Bluetooth one which you can connect to the vehicle with when it's not running. This one, what looks like a step. So this is a good feature because basically we've sat down and got comfortable to set off. What will happen when you start the engine, if the step's still out, you'll hear a beep, and that means your step is out. All you need to do is press and hold this one, it will bring the step in automatically. You got your central locking button here. On the right hand side we've got your electric parking brake, we've got headlights auto, got your mirrors here so you can adjust your mirrors, you've got heated mirrors, and then this one on the right is your grey waste release valve. So this will only open when you are stationary or when the engine's off, sorry. So basically to open the grey waste valve, when it's lit up in red, what that is going to do, it's electric, it opens the valves and the grey waste will automatically drain out of the tube. To close it, push it down, the electric valve will shut. Got some storage in here as well, and you've got some more storage down at the footwell here. Cup holders, obviously you've got all your steering controls. On this, because it's Mercedes, on your right hand side is your shifter, so you've got knock it down for drive, knock it all the way up for reverse, put it in park, push the button in on the right, it puts it in park, and your wipers are on this side. Here we've got an adjustable table because this does have a down, it's a buffet area, so if you want to move this table around easier, leave this down and the table will move more freely. You can then, if you want to set this up into direct to berth, what you need to do is lift the table up a little bit and then push it down, and it releases the gas strut, and the table will slide all the way down into place. Same if you want to set the table back up from the low position, pull it all the way up until it gets to the top, push it down, and it will lock back into place. We've got your 2 travel seats just there. And then in this cupboard here, got some more controls. So this vehicle has been fitted with Wi-Fi, so it's got a 5G Wi-Fi system on, which we have fitted in-house. So that's on there, dual SIM up there. We've got your control for the satellite, so you can turn that on and off from there as well. All you need to do is press the button and the satellite will set up itself automatically. One great thing about this as well, I think if you start the engine while the satellite's up, it will automatically fold away. And then here, this is your control for your inverter. So if we're off grid and not plugged into campsite, if I want to turn this on to use my 240 volt sockets, turn it on. When I see a red light, that means the inverter is on. So I'm running the 240 volt plug sockets, which is these ones, these 3-pin ones. If I'm now running the power for these from the leisure battery, because I've turned the inverter on. One thing, if you are plugged into mains hookup, just make sure that this is off, because then your leisure batteries will get charged up as well. But not only that, obviously your mains hookup will give you 240 volts for your sockets. Next, we've got your kitchen area, so lots of light switches around. In this drawer, you've got some internal gas valves. If one of the appliances goes faulty, you can isolate that. Currently, they are in the open position, but if the fridge goes faulty on gas, you can turn that off and still use the appliances on gas. Got your sink here with a cover. Got your oven and grill, 3-ring gas burner. One safety advice is this glass cover. After using the stove, just make sure the glass cover stays up. Let the stove cool down for around 20 minutes until it's touch cool. Because the temperature difference in the glass, especially if you've got the window open at the back, you could potentially shatter it. Like I said, every window has a blackout blind and a fire screen, especially the ones that obviously open. Now here we've got our kitchen sink. What we're going to do now is prime our motorhome with water, so we've got water in the system. So the first thing we're going to do is shut all the valves in the motorhome. So the first one, we need to shut our fresh water valve, which I will get to, which is under the floor in a moment. We need to shut our frost protect valve, the black valve in the belly locker, the blue button. We need to shut the 2 little valves behind the frost protect valve, which is running draining water from the pipe work. So that's all your valves you need to shut, and then obviously your grey waste should be shut anyway, which is controlled by the button at the cab area. So once all the valves are shut in the motorhome, we can put the hose pipe in, fill the fresh water tank up full. Once that is full, we will come to our control panel up here, turn on the 12 volt system, and then we will turn on the pump. What the pump will do is kick in, it will start pumping water to the taps. Obviously if the tap is shut, then water won't come out. But then what we're going to do is turn the tap on the cold, open it up, and water will eventually come out. So all the air will release, water comes out, you get a steady flow of cold water. That means the fresh water is primed on the cold side. If we want hot water, we'll twist it to the hot side, lift it up, and what that's going to do first is going to take water from your fresh water tank. It will go into your boiler, because your boiler holds around 10 litres of your water, and then from your boiler it will come through your tap. Once you get a steady flow on the hot side, that means your pipe work your boiler is all primed, ready to use. The only thing you need to be aware of is hot water is actually boiled, it's not on demand, so you do need to boil it through the Truma control panel and heat it up either on gas or electric. Like I said, you will get a video link just on that control panel. Here we have your fridge freezer, and then at the top again we can control this from up here. Press and hold to turn it on, it will light up like so. Want to change the setting, press this square in, it will beep or flash once, and as you can see it's flashing on gas. I want to change it to A, which is automatic. It will select the best source it has available, or if I want to manually do it, plug socket is when I'm connected to campsite, battery is when the engine's running, gas is when we're off grid. If I select A, it will automatically select the best source, and then I'm selecting my temperature of the fridge freezer. So now I've got automatic, it's selected gas because that's the best source it has available, but we have no gas on, so eventually this will fault. And then we have got your temperature. As you can see, it's flashing because it's not connected to the gas, so it is eventually going to fault. So I'm going to turn this off, press and hold the off power button, and it will shut down. Here we've got obviously your twin single beds. You've got your infill piece there, what slots here, and then if you do use the infill piece, you've got a fold out step here that comes out at the front. You've got storage underneath the beds, and then this one does have hanging storage as well inside. You've got a TV on this one at the back. To release it, just pull this tab down and that will swing out. In here we have got your shower cubicle and toilet. So you have got a ductboard which is in the garage. So you need to take the ductboard out to use the cubicle, but then obviously we've got your shower there, we've got your basin, and then obviously we've got your toilet. So if you want to use your toilet, as you can see the blade is shut down there. To open it, you twist this valve on the left and that opens the blade to the cassette. You need to make sure that this blade is shut if you want to pull the cassette out. If there's friction on the cassette when you were trying to empty it, it's because that valve is open. Obviously you'll shut this valve because you don't want smells to come back up. Down here as well, the blue button is your flush. So if your 12 volt system's on, then obviously your pump will run water around the bowl and wash the bowl. And then you've got an indicator on the left, a rough gauge. When that lights up to red or orange at the top, that means your toilet cassette is completely full, and just empty it. Here we've got your light switches above that as well. And the last part is under the floor. I'm going to lift up these floor panels and I'll show you what is underneath here. So as you can see, I have now got the floor panels up. So under this first one down here, we have got, here is your 240 volt side. So that is where you need to check if something trips on the 240 volt side when you're at campsite. Like I said, most of the time it is the campsite post, but that is your 240 volt breaker. Down there, that is where your inverter is. It's currently set on remote, but you can manually turn it on from there as well, or turn it off from there. Here we've got obviously your leisure batteries. So you've got lots of power in here. And then down here we have got your E-box, which is your 12 volt system. So that is where all your 12 volt fuses are. So if something pops on the 12 volt side, you just need to have a look here. That could be the TV. It could be the satellite, that's on 12 volt as well. So that's where you need to come through to if one of the fuses has gone on the 12 volt system. Here, as you can see, it's quite bright. That's connected to the belly locker, so you can obviously get access through the belly locker into the habitation, or obviously you could put your your beers down there to keep cool. And then the last compartment is going to be your freshwater tank. So as I was saying, this black valve here is your valve to open and close the freshwater tank. You have got instructions on the bottom of the cover there. They are upside down. Let me see if I can get them the correct way. There we go. So as you can see, we'll start from the right. If we want to close the valve, 2 full turns to the right, keep twisting to the right, and you'll feel it get a bit of a tension. That means the black valve is shut, and obviously no water is going to drain out. If we want to empty the water out of the tank, turn it 2 times open, and that will lift up the valve, and all the water will drain out the freshwater tank. And then this little one, basically when the valve is completely closed, if we want to just travel with 20 litres in the freshwater tank, if we open the valve just a quarter turn, so that black valve there, if we open that a quarter turn, that is going to drain the freshwater tank from full to roughly around 20 litres. So when you're travelling, you've still got roughly 20 litres. The reason for that is just to reduce, obviously, weight in the motorhome. So that is the instructional / overview video complete. As you can see at the top, we have got your aerial currently up. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, or you can always drop us an email or give us a call. So that is the instructional video on the Hymer BMC I600 white line.